why are you talking to your pops during the game? And as a pops, why are you talking to your kid during the game? That's the coach's job. Your kid's not paying attention to anybody but you. That means they don't respect authority. The only authority they respect is you. Name me a coach that is not playing one of their good players because they don't want to win. As players, the season is coming upon us. I want y'all to think about some of these things. I want y'all to think about how you're going to react to the crowd. Friends of these athletes, of these players, friends of the parents of these players that's coming to watch them. Leave the kids alone. Let them play. What's up, everyone? I'd like to welcome you to another podcast, Coach Rodo's Winning Regardless, or an episode of my podcast. Today, I want to talk about the high school basketball season. First games are coming up. I think they start next week. Some may have already started, but it's going to be a lot of noise going around. What teams are going to be good, what teams aren't, who should have made the team, who didn't make the team. So, there's going to be a lot of that going on. But, as a coach, the one thing that I want to talk about and I want to stress that is very, very important and, to help all of these other coaches out too who want to say it, but, maybe have said it or, some of the parents or somebody needs to hear somebody else say it. Leave the god doggone coaches alone. You know what I'm saying? If your kid isn't playing or is not getting the significant time that you believe that they should be getting when the game comes around, maybe, you tell your kid to talk to the coach. The worst thing in the world is when I go to high school basketball games and I'm sitting there and I'm listening to parents coach from the sideline, coach from the bench. And I hate more than anything when a parent calls their kid during the game and the kid freaking turns around and looks at the parent. I mean, these are high school kids that do that. And it is the worst to me because I say, hey, when the job was open, you didn't apply. So, why are you from the sideline thinking that you can coach when you had an opportunity to apply and chose not to? So why don't you just sit back and enjoy the game and enjoy your kid? And it's not the kid's fault, because as a kid, how do you not acknowledge your parent? When my kid played high school ball, he was really worried about that when he became a freshman, in high school and was, on the JV and the varsity team. He was worried about that because, I had been his coach his whole life. And so he was worried about how I was going to be. And one of the greatest compliments he gave me afterwards when he graduated high school and all that, he was like, Pops, I really appreciated the fact that I went through my whole high school career and you were never one of those parents. But I sure sat next to a whole bunch of them. I was sure in arenas with a whole bunch of them. And I would always just sit there and think and look at how the kids reacted to their parents. Some with disrespect and disdain, and some would, dads would be like, hey, Jake, shoot the ball more. They'd look at their dad and say, I know they're not running no offense for me or something. Why are you talking to your pops during the game? And as a pops, why are you talking to your kid during the game? That's the coach's job, and you get that so much. We are great coaches from the sideline or from the bench, but the guys got those jobs for a reason. They might not deserve to be there by your opinion, but that doesn't mean that you can be disrespectful as a parent to that coach. Because and then what are you teaching your child? Because see, here's the one thing that I got boys that coach Division I. I got a boy that coach at Penn State. I got a boy that coach at St. Louis. I got boys that coach some big time and have coached them. I got one at Michigan State. and I have coached some big time kids and some pros. And the one thing that they always say is parents don't realize we recruiting their asses too. It don't matter if you ain't even gonna know the mug that's in there because sometimes they don't even wear their school gear. If they want to be seen and Tom Izzo coming in the gym tonight, you know what he looked like. You know what Tom Izzo's assistants look like because they have on their Michigan State gear. But what about the ones you don't know the coach's name and you don't know the gear that they got on and they in there watching? But they watching you talk to your kid during the game or even on the sideline, getting up, walking along the side of the bench and talking to your kid while he's sitting on the bench and the coach is coaching the game. This is during high school games. Our parents would have never dreamed of doing something like that. And it messes these kids up so bad. And we as parents, not we, but because I don't do that shit, but we as parents, we don't realize how much we are. And we think it's cool. And it is not for like a real coach and for like a parent who like does not want to embarrass his child or don't want anybody to perceive this child as a person who doesn't listen to authority, because ultimately that's what you're doing with your kids not paying attention to anybody but you. That means they don't respect authority. The only authority they respect is you. So it doesn't matter what other setting they in. It doesn't matter what power anybody that's in that setting holds. If they're not you, they're not paying attention. And it is the worst, and it is so embarrassing. Again, my college coach buddies say all of the time, these parents don't understand. They sitting out there acting a fool. I don't care if your kid is 6'7", 6'9". If you over there acting an ass, I don't want him because he gonna act just like you. And why would I want that in my program? And parents don't understand that. Some do, and those are the ones that just sit back and chill. Those are the ones that you barely that people got to point out who that kid's parent is to you at games because they don't say much. Or you might know. And that's the kid's parent after the game because they talking to him, hugging, and talking, saying, see you later. Like, that's what I would do. I would wait till after the game, and then I see my son. Only time I would say anything to my son on the court is because I officiated high school basketball and college, and some college, is if he was acting a damn fool, I would, son, we don't do that. You don't show up an official. I don't give a damn what call he made, if it was wrong or not. And you don't talk back to your coaches. Those were the only things. Those were my bottom line. You can't get my reactions during games. And I apologize for that to him. But at the same time, he apologized to me for even putting me in that type of a situation because he understands and respects my authority to know that, damn, I was embarrassing my name. Embarrassing my father, embarrassing my martial name. That's not how I'm supposed to act. And we correct it. Sometimes I wait till after the game to say something, but it would depend on how heated he is because he was a very emotional kid. So, I had to, sometimes the coaches them couldn't get his attention. And me being the type of parent that I was, sometimes the coaches would even look at me and I knew what the look meant to say, hey, motherfucker, shut up. And he would. But it wasn't me trying to overstep the coach. Coach gave me that look because coach couldn't get to him. I sat back. I would sit back and chill at it, but when I needed to step in was the only time I stepped in. I was never one of those parents to say to my son, man, you're not shooting enough. Shoot the ball. Don't pass it to him. Why is you giving him the ball? Like, I hear this on the sidelines, and parents, y'all got to stop. High school basketball is coming up. These kids are about to be working hard, and these coaches are about to work even harder because there's a lot that goes into high school athletics that are behind the scenes where the only thing parents think about is the money that they got to pay and if their son or daughter gets playing time. Now, understand that playing time is predicated upon how you practice. Everyone says, oh, the coach is mad at so-and-so because he's not playing them. Name me a coach that is not playing one of their good players because they don't want to win. I don't know no coach that does that. I don't give a damn how good you are. If you're not giving effort, if you're a good coach, your ass sitting on the bench. And it's not to make an example out of you. And so as a player, you have to understand that it's because I'm not meeting my potential. He's not embarrassing me. I'm embarrassing myself by not going to my fullest potential. But yet and still somehow we as parents, somehow we think it's the coach's fault. These are conversations we need to have with our kids. I mean, it is crazy because I feel now we're having the wrong conversation with the kids. And we need to be having the right ones, especially with, these college coaches that's gonna be coming up for all of these seniors, all of this. And now they playing with big bucks. They playing with big dollars now. So now these coaches' jobs are in jeopardy even more than ever. So now they're really trying to recruit the best kid and the best parent. And if you're a parent with one of the best kids, sit your ass on the sideline and be quiet. Be like they used to say to us about refereeing. The greatest compliment they would give us when we would come off and get done with a game is when the coaches said, "Man, we didn't even realize that y'all was out there calling the game." You can't beat that feeling as a referee when they say that. So be that way as a parent. And as a player, you got to block your parents out. That man on your sideline or that woman on your sideline is who you guys got to, you females and you men have to listen to. Because for these 2 hours, he's in charge. She's in charge. So nothing else other than what your teammates say to you should matter. To all my athletes, don't take your issues to your parents. Take your issues to your coach. You don't think your coach wants you to get better? You don't think your coach wants to put you in the game if you can help win? I don't know a coach that don't want to again. So it's asinine to think that the coach is deliberately not playing you when you're a better player, or when they know the effort that you can give is even better and you're not, and it's because you're choosing to. And the reason that y'all don't understand that we know is because we've seen it before. Because we always say the one thing you can never do is once you go high, is slack off to go low, because you done already showed us what you can do at the high level. So we always know when you're slacking off now, because we know what you could do at a high level, which is why you should always stay at a high level. And if you're not, the coach ain't crazy. Coach ain't tripping. Coach ain't mad at you. You're not giving what you're supposed to give. You're not giving all that you can give. That E word. The one thing you can control. But we as coaches know when you're giving it all. Again, as players, the season is coming upon us. I want y'all to think about some of these things. I want y'all to think about how you're going to react to the crowd. I want y'all to don't look at your homeboy when you shoot threes, or, when you're out there supposed to be locked in on defense, listening to the whispers of the crowd or your parents or whatever. There should only be one voice you're whispering to. You should be listening to. You should be able to lock everything else out. Parents, shut the fuck up and watch your kid. Enjoy it. Because it goes by fast. I enjoyed the hell out of it, but I also miss it. Which is why I couldn't wait to get back in the gym and just train with the kids, just to be around them. I love going to their games because I love the game so much. I loved it when I was refereeing. I hated when I had to quit refereeing because of my knees. I hated it because I was so close to the game without playing, and I missed it. Because once it's gone, it's gone. My son went on to play some college ball, but that's gone now too. He's a dad, has a full-time job, So again, the kids that call me Unc is where my resurfacing at is. And so therefore I listen to all of I hear it now. Whereas that I would hear it when my kid played, but not as much because, I was pretty much concentrating on him and some of the other kids that were on the team that I had coached and that I had known through the years, and who also would ask me for, after the games, what did I see in their games and stuff like that. But now that I'm just sitting on the sideline, just chilling, coming and watching and enjoying the game, enjoying the kids that I train, it's funny what you hear. It's funny what the parents tell their kids during the game. During warmups, I watch parents walk up during warmups and give their fucking kids dap. Are you fucking serious? Sorry for my language. Are you serious? When we played high school ball, if you weren't sweating during warmups, your ass didn't get in the game. That's what a warmup is. You're supposed to sweat, not look cool. Warmup is a stretch. Going to the layup lane hard, shooting game time jump shots, going up and dunking without touching the rim. That's warming up, not coming in looking all pretty, seeing who all showing up into the game, who all in the crowd, doing this, walking up to your mom and your dad, you and your dad doing your little special handshakes and all of that crap. Man, get out of here with that. And I don't care who get mad at me for saying that, man. Get out of here with that. Because you're taking away from the main point, which is the ball game that's about to go on and the effort that these kids need to put in because you want to be seen. Because your kid is already going to be on Front Street. They're on the court. They're going to be seen. But nah, you as the parent want to be seen. So you got to walk your ass up there and interrupt everything that these kids doing. Because what you're not realizing is their teammates is giving you dap also. So now you got you got 6 or 7 of the kids that's supposed to be in the goddamn layup line, rebounding and paying attention over there giving you dap because you went out there to give your son some dap, or you went out there to give your daughter a hug or something like that. Instead of, what time the game start. I understand. Sometimes we just got off of work and the only thing we did was get to the game. All we could do was come to the game. Shit, we had parents like that. And guess when they gave us dap and hugs? After the game. Because I'd be damn if Coach Cook saw you go over there and give a friend, a parent, a auntie, a uncle, or even a goddamn teacher a handshake or a hug while we in the layup drill. You know what his next thing was? Go into the locker room and get dressed, and you could sit your ass right there next to him and watch the game. Because it shouldn't happen. That is embarrassing. And some coaches will not say anything. And it's not because they're scared or they're nervous. They just understand that it won't be received well because you'll think that I'm telling you not to greet your kid, or you think I'm disrespecting you in front of your child. I would love to see a coach one day say, man, the next kid I see shake hands with somebody that ain't on this team before the game start, your ass is getting dressed and sitting on the sideline. Would love to see it. I guarantee you it will stop it all. Because, man, that is such a distraction to the game. That's such a distraction to the kid. Such a distraction to the coach. And as a coach, I hate that. Because we had all the time before the game. We had all this time before the warm-ups. All you had to do was be there on time. Whatever reason you not there, and you just there to be able to do that during the game, whatever your reason is, it's not cool. It's, I mean, that there's really not much more I can say about that. So again, I just want everybody to understand that with high school basketball games about to start, let's respect our coaches. Let's respect our players. Let's respect the referees. And kids, let's respect the coaches. Let's respect the referees, and let's respect the game of basketball, women and men. Because it's going to be over before you know it. And we can't waste time on things that have nothing to do with the game. So let the outside noise be the outside noise. And let's make the court noise be the court noise, and let's keep it on the court. I want to challenge my young basketball players to not listen to your parents, not listen to your friends on the sideline. If it ain't a coach, hear it. There's a difference between hearing and listening. Hear it. But if you're in a game and you're in a warm-up and all that, I want to challenge you to not pay attention to the homeboy yelling off the stand, "Yo, let's go, baby." Turn around and give him the shot. No, don't give him no shout out. I would challenge you to, when you're in the layup line and your mom or your dad comes over, say, "Hey, we're doing layups right now, Mom. I'm doing layups right now, Pops. I see you after the game." You can still run through the line and acknowledge your parents. You don't have to go physically leave the line, leave the drill, leave what you're doing to go over there to hug and shoot dad. You can wave. And parents, I want to challenge you to leave your kid alone. Friends of these athletes, of these players, friends of the parents of these players that's coming to watch them, leave the kids alone. Let them play. Comment afterwards. Even if you're mad, do like I used to do. I wasn't mad. You had a bad game. I let him tell me. We get in the car. I'll wait 20 minutes on the drive home. Man, how you feel about the game? Now that he's calmed down. Because the last thing that a kid who had a bad game wants is when they get in the car, the first thing they hear is mom or pops going in, "You should have did this, you should have did that." Because believe me, they already know what they should have done. They already know. They probably beat them. That's the one thing that I used to learn about my son. That motherfucker beating himself up way worse than I can beat him up. So the only thing I can do now is just be that springboard. Tell him the good things that I thought he did, which was always his effort. Never had to worry about that with him. But that's how he grew up. He grew up coming up the way that I did. And I've never, his high school career, ran out to give him dap. I walk into the gym, shoot him the peace sign. In the layup drill, he shoot me the peace sign. Let me know I see you, Pops. That's all you need is acknowledgement, parents. Who the hell else in the stands do you want or try to impress by giving your kid dap? Everybody know who they daddy or they mama is. You don't have to make it about you. Like they're there to watch you or see you. Like the game is going on and they turn around and they looking at you because you that kid's parent. Because you went out there and shoot them dap. Peace sign works just as well. Because if you're really doing it for the right reason, isn't it to have the acknowledgement of your child to let them know that I'm here and I got you? You can do that by sight. You don't have to put it on Front Street. So let's stop that. Let's leave these kids alone. And kids, let's work hard. Let's have a great season. Let's have an uninterrupted season, a coaches only season. I'll listen to my mom, my dad, my friends at the dinner table, or when we out having, you know what I'm saying, kicking it, going to Applebee's, having some half-off appetizers or something. Y'all more than welcome to talk to me about the game now, but don't say shit to me during the game, during warm-ups, game day, if your name ain't Coach. I would like to thank you for listening to another podcast of Coach Rodo's Winning Regardless. Thank you and have a